Welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name is David, and this is a deck review. Today, we're going to look at the Civil War deck from Jackson Robinson and KingsWild.com. This is a really exciting deck. If you don't know, this is Jackson Robinson's first deck release through Bicycle. And if you're trying to find out, okay, where can I buy this deck, you're going to go to shopbicyclecards.com. They also might be in a local retail establishment near you. You never know. So it's good to keep checking the shelves. The Civil War. So if you don't know, the Civil War, it was fought in America from 1861 to 1865. There were 7 southern slave states, and they were individually declaring their secession from the United States. And they formed something else called the Confederate States of America, and it was also called the Confederacy. Sometimes you might hear them called the South. They grew to include 11 states, and although they claimed 13 states and additional Western territories, the Confederacy was never recognized by a foreign country. The states that did not declare secession, they were known as the Union or the North, and the war had its origin in the issue of slavery, really, and especially the extension of slavery into the Western territories. And after about 4 years of just all-out, bloody, brutal combat, it killed like 600,000 soldiers, and it destroyed a lot of the South's infrastructure. Slavery was abolished, and we went into the difficult reconstruction process of restoring national unity and brotherhood here in America. And so that's kind of just a little bit of American history for you. And of course, it just falls right in line with Jackson Robinson's vision, KingsWild, their branding, and these are just really beautiful decks. These decks come in 2 colors. You're going to get the colors of the Civil War. You're going to either get Confederate Red or Union Blue. If you order 2 decks from shopbicyclecards.com, you're going to receive 1 of each color. If you purchase it in a mini brick, you'll get 3 of each color. And really, you buy these cards from shopbicyclecards.com, these are going to be the cheapest Jackson Robinson decks you'll ever buy, because I think they're less than $4 a piece. So they're really cool. The decks are almost identical, especially in just the tuck case branding. You'll notice that it's just you have the eagle facing to the right or the eagle facing to the left. And so it's just the same image, but reversed. So looking at one box or the other, you're going to get pretty much the same detailing. So let's look at the blue tuck case. The blue tuck case says Bicycle, has the eagle facing off. It says the Civil War deck, and it says Civil War on both sides. You're going to get ad copy and branding about both KingsWild.com and Bicycle. You're going to get a standard Bicycle seal. This is a standard Bicycle deck, and you're going to get some just star artwork around. Let me just say, this is a standard Bicycle tuck, so you're not going to get any of the extra embellishments that you get with a typical KingsWild deck. Okay, so let's not confuse the two. This is a Bicycle issued deck, so you're not going to get any embossing, you're not getting an extra gold foil or silver foil or anything like that. So that's pretty much it for the tuck case. Now let's take a look at these cards. As I said before, the 2 card colors, the decks inside the boxes are exactly the same. The only difference is in the color of the backs. And so obviously in the Confederate Red tuck case, you're going to get a Confederate Red deck. Inside the Union Blue tuck case, you're going to get a Union Blue deck. But on the opposite side of the cards, the faces of the cards, the decks will be identical. Again, this deck is going to be a standard retail stock. It is going to have air cushion finish and a modern cut. And if you'd like to learn more about stock and finish, you can click this link. So here's a closer look at some of the detailing of the back design. You're going to notice right away that really the difference between the red deck and the blue deck is simply a mirrored image. That is only a mirrored image in the eagle. If you look at the rest of the back design, you can see that it is the same. So you still have the American flags in one corner and the Confederate flags in the other. You've got kind of like a circular money pattern that is behind or recessed behind the eagles. And you kind of have a star there on the left and the right. And it's still a very striking back design. It very much keeps in line with the KingsWild project image and a lot of the other decks that they've released in the past. And so I think this is a really beautiful and great addition to the KingsWild project name. With this deck, you're going to get a diptych, as you kind of do in a lot of King's Wild decks. Again, it's going to be a single picture, but in 2 different colors. Okay, and this is the same for both decks. Okay, inside the tuck cases, you're going to get the same exact deck. You're going to get kind of the American crest here, surrounded by stars. He's standing on the American flag, and he's got 2 swords in his talon. And again, you're going to see these colors. You're going to see the Confederate red and the Union blue, and together they kind of make up this really cool emblem. Your Ace of Spades is kind of going to be this throwback Ace of Spades to the early bicycle days. It's really gorgeous, and it has the American flag. So it's the U.S. playing card company, made in the USA, and designed by King's Wild Project. So that's awesome. You're also going to notice that you're going to get your typical Jackson Robinson indices up here in the corner. You're going to get really elongated fonts and really just bold pips. So that's really cool, and you're going to see that throughout the deck. The other thing you're going to get is you're going to get a double backer, which is kind of cool. And not really much else to say about that. And then your one extra card is going to be a little map indicator that tells you who all the different people are in the court series. So these 2 cards pretty much act as your jokers. Okay, so these are your jokers, and these 2 would be your ad cards. And so that is pretty much what you're getting with this deck. I want to show you the pips and indices real quick, and we'll go through the diamonds. You'll notice that you have that really long, elongated font in the corners, and you're going to get really crisp and clean lines. You're going to notice that the red coloring is just a little bit more of a kind of blood or a deeper red than your typical bright bicycle deck. You're also going to notice that the face of the cards has a little bit of a kind of a burnt paper look, or a little bit of a weathered look to it. There's kind of a yellowing, a little aging to it, and you're going to see that throughout the deck. Your court cards are all going to be people from the Civil War, both from the Confederacy and from the Union. And so if you don't know who they are directly, Jackson has placed their names in the center. And of course, it's 2-way, so it doesn't matter which way you flip it. The words flip too. And they're really beautiful court cards. And they really do, again, fit the image of King's Wild and what you've seen in the past from many of Jackson Robinson's decks. And so if you have the chance and you see these out, I would highly recommend picking them up. Real quick, here is a close-up look of the Civil War tuck case, as well as the just beautiful back design and the Ace of Spades. Here is a close-up of the diptych that you get as your jokers, and your reveal card that lets you know who all the courts are. So I just wanted to steal the camera real quick and show you some of the detailing in this entire deck. And so what you're looking at now, these are the spades of the deck. Your king is President Abraham Lincoln, and of course the queen is his wife, Mary Todd, and the jack is General William Sherman. With the diamonds of the deck, your king is General Robert E. Lee, and the queen is a Confederate spy, a lady named Rose Greenhow, and your jack is General P.G.T. Beauregard. I really love the uniqueness of the pip design of the club that Jackson Robinson has created. These are your clubs, and your king is General Ulysses Grant. The queen is Harriet Tubman, and your jack is Frederick Douglass. And lastly, we have your hearts. Your heart king is President Jefferson Davis. The queen is another Confederate spy, Belle Boyd, and your jack is Stonewall Jackson. So that is it for this deck review. As always, we recommend that you like this video just so other people can find it faster. We also recommend that you subscribe to this channel just to stay up to date on the latest in cards and card magic. You can follow us on Twitter, which is twitter.com/magicorthodoxy. You can also like our page on Facebook, which is facebook.com/magicorthodoxy. Thanks. Bye.